Hello, my name is Anna Gerow, and I'm going to share a little bit with you about my internship this summer as an Appalachia Service Project intern. All right, so Appalachia Service Project is a nonprofit organization that focuses on home repairs in the Central Appalachian region. Their goal for the future is to eradicate substandard housing. And so we do this with having volunteers come in every week, and they work um, Monday through uh, Friday, and they leave on Saturday. And so the goal of Appalachia Service Project is to make homes warmer, safer, and drier for everyone um, we're working for. All right. So the projects that we worked on were located in Fayette County, West Virginia. There are many different counties that Appalachia Service Project works for. Um, and so we served 8 families with about 12 projects total. And we had about 480 volunteers volunteered with us. And then there were also 3 different staffers who were located with me in Fayette County, each serving a similar role as me. And I was the primary contact for about 3 projects at a time in the county, which ultimately meant I was responsible for making sure that the work got done and the volunteers knew what they were doing. In this upper left-hand corner, you can see a picture of one of the projects we worked on, which was a 155-foot ramp. Then next to it, we have a project that was a back deck with stairs, and then below that is what Appalachia Service Project calls a hug, which is a layer of waterproofing, a layer of foam insulation, and then a layer of vinyl siding on top of that to make the home more insulated and drier. All right, so this next project I included because it was a great representation of what I had learned, which was in the construction industry, a lot of times things don't go as planned. And so we had to make a big pivot in this project because when we were originally doing it, we were working on a hug, like I explained before. So the hug ultimately meant that we were going to just work on insulation, but we noticed that the house was falling off of its foundation as a result from weather-related events. So in order to fix this, we created our own pier foundation in the back of the home to rest the band joist on as it was currently sitting in the mud. We had to have a lot of people, a lot of experts helping us with this as it was major structural repair and we didn't want to damage the existing home. And then you can also see us reframing that wall. And then in the back there, we added some flashing to ensure that no mud or water got into that band joist for that to happen again. Right, and then these were my responsibilities that I had while I was working out in Appalachia. Before the volunteers arrived, I was responsible for project planning and creating work orders, which were in-depth explanations of the projects we were going to do and how we were going to approach them for volunteers who may have never completed construction repair or may not be familiar with it. On the right, I included an example of something that might be in a work order. This is a diagram of a house and its front porch and ramp that we were building off of that porch. And then also when we're planning these projects, we have to make sure we have all of the materials for the volunteers. Since we have such a short time span, we need to make sure that those materials are there on time, which means we also often order in bulk, which requires a lot of material estimating and cost estimating because we are on a budget. And then reporting is another major thing. We have to report to the headquarters at ASP to make sure we're on track. And then communicating with homeowners is arguably the most important. We got to make sure they're happy with the construction we're doing and that this is going to benefit them in the future. and also making sure that they're happy with the experience they're getting. And then while volunteers are here, we visit their site while they're out on site. So we will go and deliver materials. We'll go check and make sure that everything is going uh, appropriately as planned, um, monitoring the progress. And then if they have any problems that they didn't expect, we will contact them and make sure that we get that sorted out and handled so that we are using them as efficiently and as effectively as possible. And then finally, I had a role of a communications coordinator this summer, which was a sub role in addition to the project manager role that I had. So this role was ultimately to communicate with the volunteers before uh, they got out and came down to our county and make sure that we're ready and they had all the materials they needed and all of the information they could possibly need. And then after that, I also took pictures, uploaded them to our sites and Facebook, and then made sure that everyone was aware of what was going on. So that's a little bit about my internship this summer with Appalachia Service Project. Thank you so much for listening.